What's going on YouTube? Guardedkam here from Team KYP. I've got a deck profile for you today. It's one that's actually, I guess, just as dear to my heart as the Heroes archetype is Buster Blader. It was a deck that has the weirdest support for it. I mean, I found it weird. I'm pretty sure others found it weird. It's kind of slow, but they progressively kept getting support throughout like other releases, and I don't know, I really love the new trap that just came out in Maximum Crisis. It's like, it really sets up crazy plays, because then you could pretty much get a lockout in first turn, and I've done it already. Like the week after Maximum Crisis, I put the deck together and I took second at the locals. The only deck I lost to was what was it, a Chain Burn deck. Other than that, I was actually beating other decks. Like I beat Dino Mist, I beat I think Pendulum Magicians, because the beauty of this deck is when it locks down the field from monster effects, because what happens is when Buster Dragon and Buster Fusion are on the field, Buster Dragon turns all your opponent's monsters into dragons, and then when Buster, the Destruction Swordsman Fusion, hits the field, he actually turns, it makes all dragons effects negated, and they're all thrown in defense position, which sets up for his attacks, because then he does piercing damage. So he can get buffed up. So he's a pretty destructive force. I know the deck is slow. I've been trying to do like a little competitive with it. Like the only thing I'm really missing to put in it is probably like D barriers and strikes. But I have a hard place to find a place for it, so I usually have it in my side deck, which is kind of incomplete at the moment. But let's get to the deck profile. Hopefully you enjoy it. All right. First of all, we'll start off with the monsters. You run. I mean, I've been thinking of bumping them up to 3, but I play them 2 Buster Bladers, the OG, the original Dragon Slayer, if you say. And then I also run one new of this Buster Blader Destruction Swordsman, because he is searchable along with the other these ones. But the only thing is that he doesn't retain Buster Blader's name unless he's in the graveyard or on the field. So other than that, he's not a complete Buster Blader. So I like to have him only at 1, and I could probably bump this guy up to 3. Like, it's probably a little bit better. Maybe even just cut him out. I don't know. What I like his effect though is if you can equip a monster to him, and like if your opponent has all the same type, which is probably like if you have Buster Dragon on the field, they all become dragon. Just discard the card and they all get destroyed. I play 3 of the Whelp. He's pretty much your main searcher for the deck. Like, he searches any Destruction Sword card, like your spells, your traps, your monsters, like anything. He searches anything out, and he also has a neat effect that you can also use in the same turn. Is if you have him on the field and you have a Buster in hand, you can tribute him and special summon him. I also play 3 Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, because he's also a tuner like the other Whelp. He's a dark type, so he also goes well with the other engine I threw in here. With an interesting engine I threw in here was the DDD, or like Lamia and the Dark Contracts. It's been making it consistent to where I can get my guys out. I play 2 King of Swamp, so he can act as any fusion material, along with a Dark Magician if I try to go into my Dark Paladin. So he's a pretty good card. The only thing is that I could probably run a Poly in here, and so it makes him a little more relevant, but sometimes I find there's no room for it. I play 1 Lamia. I had him at 2, but sometimes I find it clogged, because I don't want to see him that often. I do want to see him at least once, but not 2 in one hand, because it's hard to get off. Wizard. I play Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. I only play him at 1 because his effect is good. He stops their effects, so he shuts down the graveyard if he's equipped to a Buster Blader. And then I also play Robot Buster Destruction Sword, and he stops spell and traps that are already face up on the field. So he stops like continuous spells and traps. So that's pretty good. I don't use these guys too often. They're usually just here and there. Mostly you just try to get like the big guys out, the fusions and the synchros. Like these are just backup, I guess. Play 2 allure, because I do play quite a bit of darks, and I actually don't mind milling a whole hand to the graveyard because I like to get some of the effects off in the graveyard, like Prologue to Destruction Swordsman, or the Fusion Trap that also lets me fuse from the graveyard, because sometimes they're better because in the graveyard for Prologue it protects all your Destruction Sword cards for the turn, and I don't know, even Return of the Dragon Lords wouldn't be bad in the graveyard. So yeah, I play 2 Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. Just search out my Buster Blader. I play 2 Foolish Barrel of Goods to send my traps to the graveyard, or even my Return of the Dragon Lords, because that has come in clutch sometimes where it saves my Buster Dragon from being destroyed. Like I made a DDD player quit because he couldn't do anything until he got Caliuga, and he thought he was like, alright, I got the power to destroy this stupid Buster Dragon, now my guys will be safe next turn. He tried to kill it. I banished Return of the Dragon Lords and he quit. He was not too happy. I played 2 Twin Twisters. The back row mover is really, I probably should throw a third one in here because this deck gets hindered by back row. Monster effects do not really affect this deck if I have my setup going, so Twin Twister and maybe Mrs. Space Typhoon, maybe a third. I for sure need a third thing because back row kills this deck. I have 1 Destruction Swordsman Fusion. I only have him at 1 because it's searchable and it's a good recycling card because you have a Destruction Core card in your hand, you just discard it and you can return it back to your hand if you need it again. But other than that, you don't use it that often. I use the traps more often than this card. I play 3 Dark Contract at the Gate to search out my Lamia if I need it. Usually I do if I have to go into a synchro, because I play some really interesting, cool synchros in here. Not interesting, but good ones. I have 1 Return of the Dragon Lords. I probably should have this at 2. I just haven't had the access to get one yet. I play 1 Upstart, because Upstart. Play 1 Foolish Burial, because sometimes I'd like my busters to get into the graveyard right away instead of in hand. I play 1 Raigeki, and 1 for 1 for the spells. While Raigeki is Raigeki, just field wipe. And then 1 for 1 is to get, I was thinking of putting Form of the Synchron in here to get extra draw, but sometimes I find that it's not that good, but I can get multiple times where I can get Form of the Synchron on the field. Now for the traps, I play 1 Solemn Warning. Warning. Why wouldn't you not play Warning? I play 1 Unending Nightmare because, like I said, back row really affects this deck. You do not want continuous stuff going off, like especially continuous field spells or traps or anything. Like you don't want anything going off at all. So this really helps. I'm trying to think of like a really bad, worst matchup for this deck would probably be like Paleozoics for sure. Like the all back field blank with. Now to the Destruction Swordman Memories. This is a card that is not once per turn. It's a beautiful trap that if it's set, you can you discard a Destruction Sword card and you get to special summon 1 Buster Blader from the deck, or in deck in hand I think. Oh no, from the deck. You get to special summon 1 from the deck, and then while it's in the graveyard, let's say you have your Prologue, you can chain it. Like let's say this is already in your graveyard, you already have your materials in there for your Buster and your one of the Whelp Dragons or whatever. You banish this from your graveyard and you get your fusion on the field, and now you have your Buster Dragon and your fusion on the field. And then you can banish this too to save your Buster Dragon, either your Buster Dragon or your Buster fusion. So it's really, really good. Like it's not even once per turn. So let's say you had more than multiples, like fusion materials in the graveyard, you could banish this in twice and get it off. It's ridiculous. Then we have Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman. This is the main card that I'm really happy that we got because it's really good. it lets you synchro by sending the materials to the graveyard. Like you send one Buster Blade. You can even send any Destruction Sword card. So it could be another trap. It could be the spell. It could be anything that has Destruction Sword in its name. Send that and a Buster Blade to the graveyard, and then you produce a Synchro monster. Well, Buster Dragon, and it's really good. Like this. It's probably what the deck needed. It just sucks that it's a trap. It could have been a spell, but it's still good. As long if I have this in my other trap set, I usually have game, because even if they try to interest, I just chain off of them and everything. So it's really good. Like I love how this was set up for it. But let's get into the extra deck. I play one Dark Paladin because he's the OG fusion for the deck. He's really good. If you could get out, just discard cards and negate spells if anything. And then he also gets the 500 boost for every dragon on the field and in each player's graveyard, which is pretty good since this is what this deck does. It just turns everybody into dragons. I play 3 of the Buster Blader Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, because he's the new OG. He's pretty good. The only thing that sucks about him is that he can't attack your opponent directly, because that just, I don't know why they did that to him. But he can attack and do piercing, which is excellent. Like, it's phenomenal, because then he could be at, like, let's say your opponent has 5 monsters, they're all dragons, that's 7,800. So that could just end games, like, you know, just do so much damage, especially if you're attacking into a monster that only has 100 defense or something. So I also played 2 Buster Dragons. I could probably bump them up to 3, especially now with how the deck can go off with it. But 2 has been working out pretty good. Like I haven't complained about it. I play 1 Crimson Blader because his effect's pretty good. If he sends monsters to the graveyard, he can't special, because you do not. I mean, this deck doesn't really get affected by special summoning, because like most of their effects get negated right on the field anyways if I have my guys out. It just, you don't want to try, it's back row, it really hurts this deck. I have 1 Stardust Dragon, because he's a good level 8 for this. 1 Archfiend, same thing, you can just blow up a field if you really need it. I play Beezles, he's like, because Beezle is just an indestructible force that can't really get taken out unless you stop his summon or something, or you just have to make sure he doesn't get on the field pretty much. I played 1 Cyframe Lord Omega just to get some of my banished stuff back. I played 1 Hot Red Archfiend Abyss just because, like I said, back row hurts, and then he can stop a card once per turn, while negated on the field, I guess, and stop it. So he's pretty good. And I find I can go into him pretty easily. Number 11, Big Eye. Big Eye is just to take monsters. I've had chances where I've had 2 7s on the field and like the 2 Busters, and I just go into him. He's won me a game, I think, at least once, but he's just there for whatever. And then 1 Red Eye Metal Flare Dragon, like all the burn damage, and can only be like he's just a good card. And then I play 1 Hope Harbinger. I've gone into him when I have, like, there was like a scenario where I had both my Buster Dragon and all 3 of my Buster Fusion. Yeah, I had all 3 Buster Fusions, and I just went into him, and so I was able to absorb spells, and it was just a ridiculous lockdown, because then now I could stop these spells. The only thing that I had to worry about were traps. So other than that, like, it was pretty awesome. All right, we'll get into my small side deck. It's not complete right now. I only have a few cards in here, but it's because like I'm missing like D-Barrier and some strikes and just here and there. I have 2 Dark Holes, 2 Swords of Concealing Light, because that's good, because especially for for the big fusion guy, you want to have him be able to have the chance to attack monsters in defense position, since he does piercing. play 2 Royal Decrees. It's just, that's for the traps. Like especially if it's a heavy trap deck, I will slide these in. And I have 1 Monster Gate to get my if I need more stuff on the field, like especially for my Buster Blader or something like that. But hopefully you liked the video. I really do enjoy the Buster Blader archetype. It's just kind of dumb that we don't have like good support for it yet, but I don't think we'll ever get good support because I think Konami does not like Buster Blader like other decks that they don't like. But I enjoy Buster Blader. He was like my first card I had back in the day when I was young, and to have a deck surrounded by him is freaking amazing. So hopefully you liked the video. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything I could probably change out, because I'm always up for suggestions, especially with this deck, because I've changed this deck so many times. So I don't mind changing it again to just like get a different intake on someone else's. But hopefully you like my video. I've done pretty good with it. I can lock down decks. It's just not good against other lockdown decks like Evil Swarms and that. Thanks for watching. Guardedkam out.